not my idea. But it goes to show that what we're going to try and do is do something completely different this year for you. And the team, which I'll speak about later, have put together, I think, a fantastic package. So, welcome to Blackpool. Thank you very much for making it here today, despite the recent snow and ice. During the course of the day, as I've already sort of hinted at, we have listened to your feedback from last year, and we are ringing a few changes. We've got this different venue, a new stage set, and are opening some of our sessions to the public this afternoon. And we are shortening this presentation, which is a big thing that you mentioned. Now, to that end, and to help save time, we put key facts and figures in your handout material, which in effect is this blue sheet you've got in front of you. So if you haven't got one, could you get one? Because I'll be referring to it, and obviously you can take this away at the end, and it's got all the normal facts and figures that we spend a lot of time putting up on slides. Okay, as always, we begin our event by reflections on remembering those friends and colleagues who are sadly no longer with us. We remember Tom Scanlon, a well-loved and experienced jumper who died in a skydiving accident in the UK on the 22nd of August 2009. Now, I've just been told that Jo Hawley is here, and she has what's been termed a memory book that's been created by Fiona, Tom's wife. Could you please seek out Jo during the afternoon to contribute in some way to this memory book? And she's here now, and she'll make herself known to her. We also lost other members, including John Harrison, who was killed in Afghanistan. And the names of those others that died, natural causes or various other means, are up on the screen there. I'd ask you now to stand and join me in 1 minute silence to remember all of those who are no longer among us. Thank you all very much. Please sit down. Okay, now we start referring to the blue leaflet, the facts and figures to support this presentation. And going straight into it, I'd like first of all to thank Dr. John Carter and Debbie Carter, our medical advisor and treasurer, who give us the benefit of their professional expertise. I'd also like to thank our many other volunteers, judges, media coordinators, discipline reps, liaison officers and media coordinators, to name just some. The names are on your handout. And of course our hard-working staff, whose names and roles are also in your handout. BPA membership. Year on year the BPA membership is up by 5% for full members, up by 22% for provisional members. That's over 41,000 first-time jumpers. It's little wonder, really, that we've run out of the starter mags. More on that later. And up by 33% for temporary memberships. The full membership figure has broken through the 5,000 barrier again. The temporary membership figure includes the effect of the trial of allowing up to 2 temporaries in 1 year. Not all the figures are in yet, but our projection is that jump numbers were up year on year by about 13%. and students trained were up about 20%. The ratio of malfunctions and injuries to jump numbers remained comparable to previous years. We may speculate about why our figures are up. Some say relatively good weather last summer, others actually say the weather wasn't so good. Maybe the 20% reduction in the cost of third-party insurance. Who knows? But in the time of recession, beating the gloom of the recession by the exhilaration of skydiving may just be the explanation. And who knows, it may be a combination of all these and more. The bottom line is that skydiving as a sport is in good shape and has weathered the recession well so far. Fingers crossed that it will stay that way. Now, of course, the main reason for the existence of BPA is for safety and training. Thank you very much to our Safety and Training Committee and to John Hitchin for chairing it, and to our STC subcommittees chairs Paul Applegate, the riggers, and Kieran Brady for the pilots. On pilots, you may have read in the press, one of our, Garth Graylin, a pilot from Rapper, has been honoured with a Royal Humane Society Award for his life-saving bravery, which we reported on at the last AGM. I thank all affiliated drop zones, their staff and instructors and helpers for enabling us safely to enjoy our sport. Yesterday, DZOs and CCIs took part here in Blackpool in a groundbreaking workshop on safety management systems in sport parachuting operations. Many thanks to Stuart Morris of Northwest Parachute Centre who ran the day. Stuart is a chartered safety and health practitioner, and yesterday the sport across the UK benefited from his experience. Thanks very much, Stuart. You're here. Thank you. May I also thank the BPA's insurers, Manson's insurance brokers and Liberty International underwriters for kindly covering the costs of that day, yesterday. There have been 3 disciplinary cases this year, of which 2 led to panels of inquiry. No cases reached the tribunal stage. We congratulate the new instructors, packers, riggers, pilots, coaches and competition judges who qualified during the year. We thank the centres and rigging lofts that have hosted courses for their hospitality and the examiners for their support. Recently, there has been a public controversy about the government's registration plans for teaching or coaching under 18s. The detail of the plans have been reviewed by Sir Roger Singleton, the head of the Independent Safeguarding Authority. We're still waiting for the government to publish guidance on registration requirements for sports instructors and coaches. Sport England recognised skydiving Hibbleslow as a nationally significant area for our sport, and also Peterlee, Headcorn and North London as regionally significant areas. There's no doubt that this will help to safeguard these sites in the future. The Royal Air Club. Congratulations to Claire Scott, Sparky, who has won the FAI's prestigious Sabia Gotchin medal. Now, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll stand corrected if it's not. But anyway, this recognises that she is an inspiration to women in all air sports. Sparky will receive her medal at this year's Royal Air Club Awards ceremony, which I can announce is definitely at the RAF Museum in Hendon on Tuesday, the 27th of April. I'm also pleased to say, because I only found out this the other day, that His Royal Highness the Duke of York will also be in attendance to give out the awards. It's going to be a good day. The recent bad weather, however, means that the Royal Air Club has had to delay announcing the winners of its 2009 awards. And in fact, the meeting is now being rescheduled to next Tuesday. It was last week, we had to cancel it. The BPA has made several nominations. Obviously, we can't actually now announce those nominations, and we have our fingers crossed that they will all be successful. So watch the mag to see who actually gets the awards in April. Royal Air Club Trust. We also like to thank the Royal Air Club Charitable Trust. It has a bursary scheme for young people aged between 16 and 21. Bursaries were awarded to 7 young skydivers who applied to the trust in 2009 to gain qualifications ranging from FS1 to FS Coach. Thank you very much. It's a very valuable contribution. The new European air safety regulations. Tony Knight is our liaison officer in Europe. Paul Moore has been elected President of the European Parachuting Union. And Kieran Brady is Chairman who as chairman of our pilots committee is also the third member of our European team. They have spent the year ploughing through official consultation on proposed new European air safety legislation. They have sent in many formal responses to help safeguard the future of the sport we all love. They really are the A-team when it comes to waking up other European nations to the implications of this new legislation. The work is not sexy, it's not high profile, but it's about the future of skydiving in the UK. If the sky fell in on us because of some new Euro law that crept up and bit us on the backside, we'd all be up in arms. Our European team is doing its best to ensure this does not happen. But it could happen, by default, if we don't fight our corner. Skydiving is such a tiny part of new European air safety legislation, so we are vulnerable to being trampled underfoot by new regulations made for entirely some other aviation purpose. We've got to punch above our weight. And to convince our sister national skydiving associations across the European Union to speak with one voice. Now, this is something that Paul, Tony and Kieran are getting pretty good at. Bottom line is this. Everything we're going to talk about for the rest of today and the rest of the year will mean nothing if in future our aircraft are unable to take off. If parachute aircraft can't fly because of European red tape, our sport in the UK will be finished. Simple as that. That's how important I feel the work of our EU team is, and I thank them very much. Again, I'd like to express our gratitude to the BPA insurers, Manson's insurance brokers and Liberty International underwriters who are making a significant contribution from their risk management fund to helping us to lobby to get the new European air safety legislation right for our sport. And thank you again, guys, from insurers. Okay, international representation. I'm the UK delegate and John Hitchin is alternate delegate to the International Parachute Commission of the FAI, the World Air Sports Federation, the international governing body of our sport. John Hitchin also chairs the IPC Star and Accuracy Committee. Hitch is the longest serving, I believe, IPC committee chairman. He commands huge international respect in our sport and is considered one of the wise old sages in the IPC family. We are lucky to have Hitch also working for us. A couple of years ago, I was elected as Vice President of IPC, and I serve on its managing body, the Bureau, IPC Bureau. More recently, IPC elected me as its media coordinator to help increase the profile of competitive skydiving worldwide, leading up to the World Championships in 2012, running same year as the Olympics. So between us, we're helping things to happen at world level in our sport, and to also help establish the British Parachute Association as one of the leaders in international skydiving. Okay, enough talking. We'll go on to a video. Our compilation highlights the skydiving year 2009, kindly put together by previous Skydiver of the Year and current World Cup gold medalist Mike Carpenter.
Please release me. Oh, I don't want to be here anymore.
先请他们坐好，好。
I can't answer it, I'll find out who can.
It's unfortunate that when we feel a storm,
Thanks very much, Mikey. Spotlight's from me, I can't see where we are, but thanks, Mikey, very much for that compilation. Our teams competed internationally against, in many cases, professional competition from other nations. They demonstrate the kind of sporting spirit and good humour by which the UK has come to be known. As we saw there, Dean Smith, Smudge, in canopy piloting, and Free Fly Team Volea had the honour of being invited to take part in the World Games in Chinese Taipei. Now, this is an Olympic test event with other athletes from various disciplines also competing, not just skydiving, but all sports. At that, Volea won the bronze. Congratulations also to Volea, Adam Matacola, Alberto Fuertes and Mikey Carpenter. They took gold in free flight in the 2009 World Cup and European Championships held in the Czech Republic. As a result of this, Council gave them the rare honour of life membership. Congratulations too, as we saw then also a clip from Team Outbreak of Bad Lieutenants, James Davis, Jim Harris, Dan Parker, Matt O'Riordan and Martin Reynolds. They took World Cup and European bronze in the new IPC discipline of VFS. And to Team Kazan, Joe Hawley, Ray Ahmad, Liz Cass, Claire Amelia and cameraman David Curtin, who took bronze in women's four-way FS in the European Championships. Finally, I'd like to mention, I don't think we've got any slides of it because it happened so late, but I'd like to mention our canopy piloting team who represent the BPA at the World Cup in South Africa in December. As I'm sure you're all aware, tragically there was a fatality at this event, the first fatality I'm informed ever at an FAI Category 1 competition. There were also serious injuries. The Brit team were exemplary in supporting and encouraging their fellow competitors from around the world to continue the competition, which was completed. They were in receipt of much praise for the example that they set. Also, congratulations to Brian Basher on his continued membership of the PD Factory demonstration team. Well done, guys. You represent the BPA well out there in very tragic circumstances. Domestic competitions. We held a programme of Nationals and Grand Prix across many disciplines in 2009. The winners of the Nationals were presented with their medals and trophies at the end of their meets. The winners of the overall UKSL and Grand Prix Championships will be presented with their medals later this morning. Thank you to all the competitors who took part and to Drop Zones who hosted these meets. We were proud to host the European Skydiving League. Sorry, I'm racing ahead of... We were proud to host the European Skydiving League finals in the UK for the first time at Skydive Hibblestone. Congratulations to the Netherlands who won the Spirit Sword with 38 points to the UK's 32. We will be going over to Holland to try and win it back at this year's ESL finals. I'd like to thank the Competitions Committee under the chairmanship of Andy Scott for its hard work throughout the year. I'd also like to thank our judges. The Competitions Committee also coordinated another great season of BPA Skills Coach and Row Shows for non-seniors. Our competitions reps deserve special recognition. Their names are on the screen. Their names should be on the screen, but we all know who they are. A new British free-flying head-down record formation of 14 was set at Hibblestone on the 4th of October 2009. Congratulations to the record holders, who I hope are listed on the screen. Thank you. Give me time to read that. The world's largest all-female formation world record was set on 26 September at Skydive Paris, California. Of the 181 jumpers from 31 countries, 30 were British, again named on the screen. Jump for the cause raised staggering $900,000 for breast cancer research. Congratulations to all who took part. Well done. In October, I had the pleasure of chairing a BPA meeting for drop zone operators. This has now become a regular annual event. May I thank Manson's Insurance Brokers and Liberty International Underwriters again for kindly covering the costs of that day. Other development news from the year have a canopy handling training video is in production. With Airkicks' agreement, it is planned to use the Airkicks fund of $1,400 to cover its costs. Sadly, the number was up for one fundraiser initiative, Bingo Lotto. Ticket sales were disappointing, so it finished after just a few weeks, but we still expect to receive a small sum to benefit skydiving. And the BPA credit card is still there, making a small but valued contribution to supporting our sport. We've looked at developing other income streams to make up for the loss of the former UK Sport grant as they concentrate their funding on Olympic sports. We'll continue to consult with all the stakeholders about possible projects and initiatives to generate funds. Be assured we've had no shortage of ideas, but none of them has yet withstood the rigour of our own critical evaluation before we launch a new income-generating project. Leslie Gale won the tender for the contract to provide Skydive the MAG for 3 years from this year. Well done, Leslie. MAG goes from strength to strength. The Communications Committee, chaired by Martin Salisbury, has had a busy year planning for the future. This year holds the exciting prospect of Archant Dialogue, a specialist publishing house, working with Leslie and the Communications Committee to create a new interactive website for your favourite magazine. Talking of websites, the new BPA website has bedded in. The next stage will be to trial online renewal applications. The Starter Mag was so popular, as I hinted at earlier, that stocks ran out this year. An updated edition will be published soon, and it will become an annual publication. And of course, we've got our Skydiving Calendar 2010. Insurance. As I mentioned earlier, in 2009, we saw a 20% reduction in our insurance premium. This was thanks to years of hard work by David Hicklin, the immediate past chairman of our insurance committee. The new insurance package that came in on the 1st of April included death and critical injury insurance for the first time. Sadly, but at the same time reassuringly, that policy paid out last year to the next of kin of a member who lost his life in a skydiving accident. Going forward, we expect to see pegged insurance prices for this year. I'm delighted to see a strong relationship developing between the BPA safety and training activities and the insurance team of Manson's Insurance Brokers and Liberty International Underwriters. Together, we are all striving for the same thing, an even safer sport with even less harm to people and property, even fewer insurance claims and even lower premiums. So again, may I express thanks and acknowledgement on behalf of all of us to Manson's Insurance Brokers and Liberty International Underwriters for their support over many fields to the BPA. I'd like to thank all members of Council 2009 for their hard work. 3 Council members did not stand for re-election because of increasing work commitments in their day job, the jobs that paid a mortgage. So a particular thanks for your time on Council and all the fantastic work you put in, a lot of it unsung behind the scenes. Got to go to please Grant Richards, Alec Wilson and Ray Armstrong, who have stood down this year. Thank you very much, guys. In summary, looking back at 2009, the association is in good shape, with full-time membership of over 5,000. We have a vibrant skydiving scene here in the UK and are playing our full part on the European and world stages. Your achievements as British skydivers in 2009, only some of which I've had time to cover this morning, do us all proud. Let's go forward now to welcome the challenges and opportunities of the new skydiving season of 2010. And just a word about where we'll be hearing about what happens this year at next year's AGM. Craig Potson got out his computer and analysed the minimum average travel distance for BPA members. We all know Craig, don't we? Good. Anyway, surprisingly, you might think, the result came out as NN17 in plain English, Northamptonshire. We found the best deal was at the Barcello, I think that's pronounced right, hotel in Daventry. So that's where we plan to be for next year's AGM on Saturday the 22nd of January 2011. Now, I've only ever seen a sign to Daventry on the M1. Actually never been there. But of course, Daventry is famous for one thing. It's the home of Tony Butler. There's a plaque up on his house, our technical officer. And he will be available later to brief us on all the attractions in Daventry and how to get there, doing a comparative study between Blackpool and Daventry. Should be interesting. So thanks, Tony. Okay, I'll have right at the end of today, I'll have a few more words to say. But now, I think we move on to consider any items of special business. But before that, I think I've got to ask for a proposer and seconder, or John does.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It falls to me as the Vice Chairman to ask you, the membership here at the Annual General Meeting, to receive, adopt and approve the Chairman's report for this year. So could I have a proposer, first of all, Jackie Smith, and a seconder, Geordie Page. Can I have all those in favour, please? Raise your hands. Is anybody out there? Yeah, there is, and it's definitely a majority. Good, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Might appreciate it out there, but we've got these spotlights shining, so we can't see a thing, which is good, really, because it's like working in the blind. Okay, now we go on to consider any items of special business. I'm pleased to announce that there are no items of special business. So the next item is to set subscriptions payable for non-provisional members for the 12 months beginning 1st of April 2010, and to do that, may I introduce Debbie, our Treasurer. Debbie.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you very much for being here. You managed to make it through all the rain, up the motorway and down the motorway. I won't keep you any longer than I have to, so please can I have £1.67? Can I have yeah, yes, that would be nice. A proposer and a seconder, please, to increase the BPA element of the subscription by £1.67.
Weed.
Proposer Weed and a seconder Kieran. Thank you very much.
Anybody against?
Is there anyone against?
Well, show of hands.
Oh, show of hands. Nobody's for and nobody's against.
Nobody against. I'll take that again. Okay, we did say we're going to try and speed this up for you, because we've got a busy afternoon. That closes the formal proceedings of the AGM. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to hand over to the Secretary General, firstly, to announce the Council for next year, the new incoming Council for 2010. So Martin Shuttleworth, you come up and do that now, and then we'll go on to the presentation ceremony.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And those of you who've checked the BPA website will have noticed that we put the council election results on there last Tuesday when we received them from the independent election administrators. There's some statistics for those who are interested in statistics on screen there, and I do hope I've got those statistics correct, and I'm sure you'll let me know if I haven't. The independent election administrators we used this year were Howsons of Leek in Staffordshire. They provided an excellent service to you, the membership, and you can be confident and sure that the election was independently administered completely free from any action at the BPA office, which is just a measure of independence, I believe, that we should all be looking for. There were 16 candidates for council, and those elected were Andy Scott, Paul Applegate, Craig Poxon, Weed Stoodley, John Horn, John Smyth, Martin Salisbury, Paul Moore, Ian Marshall, Richard Head, Adrian Bond, Steve Saunders, Paul Ledden, Christopher Beattie and Kieran Brady, and not elected was Kevin O'Connor. So thank you to all the candidates who stood, and can I also thank all the members who voted, and we do urge you, please vote, 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 because as Hugh Green used to say, your vote really does count, and more voters this year use the online channel than the snail mail. So that's excellent, and I hope it will be even more next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you.